Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday and going on daily. I'm here with JJ today. It's been a
Good
long
morning.
time.
I know.
It's been forever, like since I think my first show that was like
Oh,
18
that's
seasons
right.
ago or 18 episodes ago already. It's incredible. Lovely to
Yeah.
see you. And we're going to have a great show today. And I was researching your topic last night because I thought, what is Netflix lighting? And
Oh,
so I was looking at that. So I thought that's pretty cool that dialogue is out there about the creativity and
yeah.
writing and everything. So I'm going to just let you lead away with that because I thought that's a very exciting topic because we all love movies, right?
That's right.
Movies.
Well, first off, look at your background. Like
Yeah.
you're in the States, right?
Yes, I'm in Beverly Hills for 2 weeks. Yeah, it's incredible.
Oh, and
Yeah,
look at that light that you
yeah.
have behind you.
I
Just the
know.
natural.
I know it's beautiful
Oh
and
my
uh,
goodness.
and then I have a pool and a jacuzzi back there too that I get to use, so I can't see it there. But yeah, so it's been delightful to be here and just the other day I had coffee at a place called Ferrarini and I met like these Hollywood icons and things like that. It was just like they're just like that's where they hang out for coffee. I was like,
You're
wow,
like,
that's pretty cool.
look at me. Were you doing where you were doing this, like just walked up behind him and kind of thought you were
Nah,
taking a selfie and then
no, I didn't do that. But I did talk to them. I just said, hey, how's it going? I just started talking, having a conversation, and so yeah. So this guy was a producer of An Officer and Gentleman, I think he was,
oh,
way back when he
nice.
was older.
Way back when.
Yeah,
Uh,
Erwin was his name. Yeah. So movies. Here I am.
Movies.
Out of
So
movies.
yeah, so if you're, I'm a huge pop culture, media, TV, film, I work in the space.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, Netflix lighting is a new term. It's kind of because it's come from the LED revolution, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Um, but it's also come from, Netflix was hey, how do we generate really fast content? How do we do things? And so, and if you've ever worked on a movie set or ever, but
I
the
have.
lighting,
Yeah, it's very
the
important.
lighting, it's like the specialist of, sometimes lighting setups could take hours before you would take the shot. You need to make sure you get the shadows right because that was part of the story, right? The depths, light, shadow, darkness, and how that kind of helped tell the story. But because of I call it fast content, and with digital cameras and all that, it became that became the industry term of meaning either flat.
Yes, I was reading that flat lighting. It's just like no
Flat
depth.
light, softened shadows, very
Yeah.
little detail,
Yeah.
a very uniform
Yeah.
kind of like we're not using lighting to develop characters.
Right.
And I know that's because of digital camera. So so I'm a huge Supernatural fan. I don't know if you've ever watched that show.
No, I haven't.
And it was like on for 15 years. I mean, it was like but it started in 2005 and they were on real film, in TV in those days. And it wasn't until I think it was like 2010, so 5 years later, they transitioned because of digital cameras, right? Cheaper to do, to produce all that. But you can even see if you look at like the early seasons of shows that or like X-Files is the
I
same.
love X-Files.
Yeah. So if you watch X-Files also was on for a long period. And in their transition of seasons, they went from film to digital cameras.
Right.
And you can tell like the later seasons, it feels flat. And a lot of viewers almost were like, oh, well, the show got tired or it got, well, it's like, sometimes it was the lighting that if you look back, it's like the storylines might not have been as tired, but the whole emotion of like the viewing point is a flat light. So it makes the story feel stale.
Yeah, and it won't activate our emotions the same way. Right. It's sort of like
yeah. And so, like Supernatural is just such a prominent, like, an X-Files. I'm trying to think of like Buffy the Vampire,
I used to watch that one too.
that like early seasons to later seasons, you can truly see the shift.
Yeah.
And that's what the Netflix, when Netflix started, it was all their shows were digital, flat, kind of this like assimilation. But that was like Supernatural or X-Files. They had to spend a lot of time with the stars. You've got Mulder and Scully, right? Male and female, different hair color, height. So they spent a lot of time.
Different profiles.
Right? Profiles. If you look at like, how do you tell the story of if Mulder is like getting ready to to think, or who was the villain? The FBI.
The guy with the cigarette, right?
The cigarette guy, yeah.
I mean,
they shadowed him in some of the earliest to make him. You knew just from the light he wasn't. He was not good. He was a shadowy character. Yeah. But yeah, even like the leads of Supernatural, you have one actor was 6'5", the other one is 6'1", one, different shades. They have to portray their characteristics and their character different. So they would spend hours doing that. But it's what made the show great. It's what people remember. And then they comment of the later seasons feel flat. And a lot of studies, it's been like, oh yeah, the music wasn't as good, the lighting wasn't as great. But yeah, it is. So some of it's like the death of cinematography was the influx of like Netflix coming in, and you've kind of lost the artistry of, light
and the magic of it too, right? Because lighting really puts an impression, and our nervous system is wired to notice those subtleties, right? And so when they're not in a movie anymore, and I've noticed there's some movies I've watched and I'm like, yeah, it's just like it's watching a flat screen, So I never had a term. I didn't even know it was a thing until I saw your topic today, and I went, what is that all about? And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes total sense.
Right.
Yeah,
but creativity
it doesn't goes just as much.
That's right. Creativity goes far beyond the script. I mean, music, the sound, but definitely the lighting. But it's interesting, the lighting industry with like all the technology with LED. So they're calling it human-centric lighting. So it's now a little bit more depth, a little bit more. They're now hitting film sets because it is a lost art. But it's because the studio's like, we can't wait 6 hours for a lighting setup. So now this like new technology of human-centric lighting, LED technology allows for quick setup, but also lighting shifts through remote. So it's easier and faster. So we're hoping that we'll start get lighting back into the artistry of why, what makes great stories greater.
I think that's such a cool topic, and it's storytelling is the way that we learn to relate to each other too.
Yeah.
Right. And so when the stories don't hit us in the same way anymore, then it's just like, consumption, distraction, but there's not that activation of depth and engagement anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So, cool.
And I mean, I know we're on the subject of Netflix. I'm if you've been following along in the world of Netflix is looking to buy out WB, the Warner Brothers.
Oh, no way.
But then, so it's a bidding war right now. So Netflix went in to go, okay, I want to buy the studio, and have it be a part of our IP, our content play. But then Paramount went in, I think earlier this week, and said, oh no, we're going to do like a massive bid. We don't want to just buy the studio. We want to buy the whole universe of Warner Brothers. And so, there's a lot of chat around that, is that, even when it was just Netflix versus Paramount, is this a monopoly? You know, are we reducing the competition, which is going to hurt creativity?
Oh, totally.
Now it's like, okay, who do we want to win? Is it better if Netflix wins versus if it's better if Paramount wins? I mean, either way, I think from a monopoly perspective, it's not good. It will crush creativity.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you won't have that, you know, you don't get that emerging, the hunger of that, of creativity kind of competing out. But I will say I'd rather it be with Paramount.
Yeah, I agree. I just had this metaphor. It's like, you know, it's like eating pasta with a jar of sauce versus letting it simmer and putting all the ingredients in yourself, and you get that rich, full-bodied flavor, right? So everything is being reduced to quick, but we're losing that quality and the depth of everything: flavor, food, movies, relationships, even, right? So it kind of ripples through many different aspects of living, right?
That's right. Because it's when we lose competition, well, one, if it goes to Netflix, then it gets, you have a legacy studio, a storyteller that's going to go into a tech platform. I mean, so you know, that's so good. I mean, because then it becomes, it's not about competition, it's not about creativity and craft. It's about performance. It's about views. It's, you know, which I know it's always been about views, but you still had the element of storytelling and craft.
And a certain integrity with that too.
Right?
A line of integrity, of creativity, and
all of that. And then, you know, at least with if it goes to Paramount will it will retain its the brand and let it kind of run just like their other, you know, properties like CBS and all of that. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that Paramount kind of wins out. But even then, you're reducing the competition, right? There's fewer. It's like the Titans, right? So that means there won't be competing worldviews. We get sanitized there. We won't be competing distribution models because it'll start being sanitized, and then there won't be any competing creative cultures. It'll start having like assimilation of voice, and then competing metrics for success. So the lack of creative friction is where long-term damage happens. In Hollywood, the fact that you're in Hollywood, you need to listen for the buzz to see what people are.
I'm going to Ferrini's later today, so I'll listen around.
Right.
No,
but you know, it's a weird time.
And it's incredible to see, you know, that the thing is Netflix lighting, right? But to see how deep it goes down the rabbit hole.
That's right.
To cultural, you know, creations, relatability, and creativity, like you're saying, it has a really deep rabbit hole to go down.
That's right.
If the sanitization thing keeps going, and
we already see the sanitization of lighting with Netflix, right? So with this, you know, it becomes stories get built around data signals, versus competing for. I know, Ron, the crappy DC movies, but they're still crappy movies still have fans, right? The cheesy comic book movies, like those kind of different aspects of great story, it'll just get lost because the franchises won't greenlight things unless it has algorithmic compatibility or algorithmic, you know, predictive success. They'll go, I'm not going to greenlight that, or we know these type of stories sell, and so then it's just like the lighting, fast. Let's just get that subscriber. You know, we need to meet the subscriber churn. Yeah, so I think you just lose anytime you lose or reduce creative worldviews, and that you lose that friction.
Totally.
Yeah.
And friction, like any kind of contrast, we need it to create. It's the force of creation. Friction is the force of creation.
That's
and
right.
So, yeah, then we lose it, then everything becomes dull. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he put some Christmas lights on there. That's so cute. We just suddenly got blessed with Christmas lights. Well,
yeah.
thank you, JJ. That was really a really engaging and amazing topic, and just to see how deep it goes. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed your topic there.
Well, now you have to go back and look. Now you'll look at shows and go, if it was early, like before 2010, of TV shows, you're like, oh, I see the lighting. I mean,
I actually want to do that. I want to do that. I want to go back to X-Files and do that. And see.
You got to look at the ones like the CSIs and the X-Files or Law and Order and stuff that are out because the ones that are on studio set, those are set lighting. You come in, it's it feels like real. An artificial, but if you go like the Supernaturals, the X-Files, you're in environment, and that's where lighting really,
that's where it feels real. The other is
yes,
Oh.
So you need to go look and see.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that because I got lots of time and I got a big TV in the living room here. So so at night I've been watching actually Little House on the Prairie. They had it on the show, and I actually saw the first season for the first time in my life. So now I know where the whole story started from, because I used to watch Little House on the Prairie.
Oh yeah,
it's such a cute show, and I used to love it as a kid. So I started watching it. Yeah, so I'm going to look at that and see the difference.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So thank you, JJ, for that.
You're welcome.
So now I'm just going to go into our social media world, and thank you guys for being here and watching us. And you can keep watching us live on YouTube, Rumble, Kick at Rhode Island Broadcasting, and Twitch at Rhode Island at RIBroadcasting, Twitter at Broadcasting Grid. Yeah. And then, I think some letters out here.
Ron adds so many, I don't even know how to keep up with them anymore.
Yeah, we should do like a competition of who can do it fastest. Like do like a tongue twister kind of thing. That could be kind of fun. And so also on Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeartRadio at RI Broadcasting. And then our socials are TikTok, MeWe, Blue Sky, Parler, LinkedIn, Space Hay. Space Hay. I've never explored that yet. I got to check that out. And Gab and at RI Broadcasting. And Facebook is at Going On Daily Morning Show. And I think we're still looking to reach 100 followers there, right? So whoever's watching, please help us grow there, because then we can broadcast on Facebook again. And that would be really awesome, especially after having lost, it was like 10,000 people, right? And then Facebook kind of crashed. Something happened. So thank you for watching, everybody, and check us out on those other platforms and like us there and follow us there, and then we keep growing, and that's what we're wanting to do, share good stuff and good. We've got a bunch of good people here. What I love about the show is everybody's got such a great heart, and it makes coming on the show so nice. And so join us everywhere. Now we're back to you, JJ, on Squid Game. So I looked up that, and I wasn't sure, is that the reality show?
Anyways,
I looked it up. Yeah.
It was that the real world, like the Squid Games. It was pretty brutal, though. I mean, it was taking like childhood games, red light, green light. That was my lighting connection.
Oh, cool.
Because they red light. Do you remember the red light, green light as a kid?
I do.
Right. So in Squid Games, it was for the death. So it was.
Wow.
It's a pretty. It's a dark.
I just read a little bit about it. It's like literally like a reality show, but like dark, like
very dark. Yeah,
causing harm to each other and things like that, right?
But it's taking like the fun, like kid games, and
right.
that turned it. So, I'm in marketing, so of course, people are now using, and so are we, taking Squid Games into like the business edition, transforming that fear of red light, green light, and putting the fun back into it.
Oh, that's so cool.
So doing like team building games around red light, green light, and contests of how to like how to brainstorm and ideate. Like, let's just take a moment. It's a green light. Everybody, just brainstorm. Get, there are no bad idea moments. Let's get everything out on the head. And then, do that for an hour, really challenge ourselves on like, how do we solve this problem? So it's, green light sessions. And then you take a step back maybe the next day and you do red light sessions of what's not going to work.
Wow, that's a cool model. That's great.
Like, let's put our black hat on and go, what's the worst case scenario? What's too risky? What's too costly? Right. But it's now let's red light everything and go, that ain't going to work. And then it starts tailoring down. And then we go back into and doing another green light, right? To go, okay, now based on that filter, let's in. And usually because our brains, we need that energy, that high, moment of creativity. And then we need the rest to take a step back and breathe and let that kind of sit and mold, and then come back and evaluate, and then come back and then brainstorm and ideate again. Because we say, the best ideas are some. It could be the first idea, but you won't know that until you hit. We call it going for the 15th.
Yeah.
Like, you got to push yourself, writing 15 headlines, doing the challenge, because sometimes it's that 6th, 7th, or 8th one that are like these brilliant ideas. But a lot of people stop at like, we brainstorm, we got 5 ideas. That's good enough. And we don't practice that. We push our team to go, have we thought through, whether it's in creative concepts of like how to launch a campaign or a headline, but also we do the same thing around problem solving. Like, how do we tackle this challenge? And so we're starting to use the green light, red light.
Cool. Wow. That's a really awesome approach. I like that, because then it's like a nice rhythm of engaging and resting, right? And that's what we all need, and that's a natural.
We all need it. Our
brain expansion.
It gets too, because it gets too tight. Like and we let good ideas come from everywhere. So it's not just the creative team or what. Like, we let other people kind of join in. And also somebody might have one idea or something, like we call it the non-creatives might have a really good idea or point, but it might leapfrog and it might spark somebody else in the room to come up with something brilliant. So you never know where a good idea is going to come from. And also have the rhythm of the green light of, because what happens, and you've probably done this, Luannah, of let's talk about stuff, and immediately when people say something, you've got people that it's just part of their personality of, I'm going to shoot that down. I'm going to tell you all the things why that's not going to work.
Oh yeah, totally.
So that kills the creativity, energy. And then you've got people that are like, well, I'm not going to say that. I had an idea. I'm just going to keep that quiet. I don't want to be judged. So that's the green light room. So when you come in, that's the rules. It is like run, rapid, fun, energy, no bad ideas, no negative thoughts. Let those enter. It's just high energy and positivity and optimism and hope.
And embracing possibilities, because it's only when I remember that movie Under the Tuscan Sun. You know that one?
I love that.
And then the author was saying to the teacher, when his book was awful, she says, well, sometimes awful ideas are the starting point of amazingness, right? And so it's like, so letting everything be a part of the creative process, not saying, okay, that's not. It's like, okay, let's put it all together, and then
let's all get it out. And then it's Luannah, I know you like to cook too. So when we go through that session of the green light, the red light, back to green light, back to red light, and we kind of do that a couple times. We then take and say, then you start narrowing, right?
Yes.
Or we say like it's we're making the roux, right? So and so you're stirring it, and you're getting all like the pure essence of what a really good idea, how it can be that foundation of a really good sauce, but you boil it down.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Even in my I recently launched a course that I've been working on for 2 years, and I can like so many distillations, and I know there'll still be more, right? Because now it's out there, but it's still gonna. So it's that creative process, and same with just drawing back, circling to the lighting, same thing, right? It's like being able to create the environment, the roux of the environment for the movies, right? So that it's like really relatable and connected.
And the lighting is a part of that, right? Of like, how do you tell that story? It's the light, it's a little bit of music. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, if the studios took the same effect of music, of what they're doing with lighting, of how sanitized and boring, if everyone used the same, drama music, or if everyone used the same, love story music, or I mean, that would be awful.
And that brings up, like, I miss the old movies with the orchestras, right? Orchestras would make the music, right? That was another way of an art that's gotten lost, except for maybe European movies that still will do that. But like our movies, you don't have that anymore.
That's right.
That's another way that really enriches the experience. Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, that's awesome. Great show. It's awesome being here with you, JJ. Yeah, so now I'm going to go into my topic, I think. Which was so because it's the lights, and so I have two. I'm going to do lights and trees, and so I just pull up my little notes here, because I used to live in Germany, like go there back and forth when I was a kid, and I'm going to be touching into the lights here, but the trees, they always had real candles, and that's why I thought to do this. Of the tree, because it's close to me, and it reminds me of a past time that was really beautiful, right? So I wanted to look into the reasons why the evergreen tree, and so a big part of the commonality is because it shows that it can endure through the winter. So it was a sign of hope. The evergreen tree is a sign of hope that no matter how dark and cold it gets, that life still prevails and we can get through it. And so I gathered some. I'm going to read these facts because I thought they were really cool. And so the ancient roots are in pagan reverence for the evergreen. And so long before Christianity, ancient cultures revered evergreen trees as sacred symbols of life, renewal, and continuity, which is great. Continuity is a great word, because it's the repetition of cycles and patterns, right? And when we understand cycles and patterns, we find a way to navigate through life, both personally and in the natural world too, right? So in pagan and Druid traditions, evergreens were planted or honored during the winter solstice as a reminder that life continues even the darkest days. It's thought to hold protective powers, warding off illness, spirits, and misfortune. And they were decorated with fruits, candles, or charms to invoke blessings for the coming year. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. And many ancient people believed that trees were guardians of spirit. I've always had a strong connection to trees my whole life. Everywhere I've lived, I've had a tree. That's where I would go sit and journal or cry or do whatever or reflect. So I've always had a connection to trees too. So that's why this spoke to me as well. And that evergreens held eternal wisdom, staying green when all else withered. So, and then in the 16th century, the German Christians began the practice of bringing evergreens indoors and decorating them, merging the pagan reference with the Christian belief. The evergreen came to symbolize the eternal life of Christ. Evergreen equals ever alive. The tree of life, or the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So all these beautiful symbologies, right? And nowadays we just buy Christmas trees and put the lights up, and nobody really understands the history, right? And even I didn't know the full depth of this history either until I started researching it for the show. And also that the evergreen is a spiritual reminder that through faith, the soul endures all seasons. So again, going back into, when we realize that there are cycles, we all have winter seasons, right? We have our summers, we have our falls, but the winter season is the hardest. And when we remember that, okay, there's always a spring after winter, right? And so somehow they use the tree as that reminder, and that the life will prevail, it'll keep going, not to worry, they will make it through. And And we need that in our internal world too, right? We need to have something we can say, okay, I'm feeling like this today, but okay, life prevails, love prevails. There is another spring, I'll just my winter.
So, well, we're in what we call, like, this is the Advent season, right?
Yeah.
Before Christmas. And this is it is kind of the time of, it is the desert. Where our season is, we're letting go of dead wood, and so that we can bloom. But I love the whole, the evergreen connected to ancient times and spirituality and Christ and evergreen, because frankincense.
I love frankincense.
The three gifts to Christ was gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Frankincense is one of the most ancient healing oils, and it's from the boswellian tree, which is an African evergreen tree.
Wow.
It's the resin, whatever. Yeah, that's what it's from. That's oil from the resin of the boswellian tree.
I didn't know it was from that tree. I've burned frankincense for years. It's one of my favorite ones. But
it's part of an evergreen tree. And it is. It's how I kind of do that of take frankincense, and also it's good for like under eye bags and.
Oh yeah, it's good for skin too. I've heard that. Yeah.
But just the oils of it. Ron, you probably need to do this. Get your evergreen tree in your house for healing. But then frankincense oil, you rub it between your hands and breathe it in. And just inhale it and let that kind of infuse. Has great healing properties. It's like it calms the nervous system.
Yes, it does.
So it's just a great time this is an Advent. We should be letting go of things, ready for the new things to come. New things can't come unless we let go of the old. The rotting things that are disrupting our spirit and our energy.
Yes, letting go, putting the dead wood in the fire so we can of our spirit, right? Technically, like metaphorically. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful.
So you said that the evergreen, they would put real candles in the trees?
Yes.
How did you not get them to burn up?
Yeah, that's pretty. I was going to go into that in the next segment, but I can just bring it in here because they had these special clips, and there were small candles, really thin candles, and they would clip them precisely in spaces where there was no other branches above it, and just the ones that were protruding, and it was the most beautiful thing. So beautiful. And so, of course, the light, I was going to go into this later, but it was representing the light of Christ consciousness, love, protection, all of those things, as well as the tree. So the combination of the tree and the lights was like a symbol of protection and connection to the greater force of life, which is love. And that was Christ's biggest teaching, right? Love one another, right? Just that one already is enough. That's a beautiful teaching, and just as the mystic teacher he was, right? So I love that symbology of the Christmas tree, the lights, for that reason. And across cultures too, there was trees in the Yggdrasil of Norse mythology. The world tree connected heaven and earth, so they saw trees as the connection between heaven and earth. I can't help but think of Avatar and that beautiful mother tree.
That's the exact image that came up in my head.
That's what came up when I saw that. It totally, so great minds think alike, And then the Bodhi tree, which is where Buddha attained enlightenment, and then the tree of life in both Kabbalah and Christian mysticism, right? So trees have strong mythology and strong energy, and for me, even as a kid, I had a lot of stuff go on in my childhood that was a lot trauma and stress and that, and I would escape to the forest. And I would sit either I have a rock at Lake Ontario, Pickering, Ontario, and it's still there, but it's been moving. So that was my meditation rock from when I was like, I don't know, 12 years old already. I was going there. And then there's a little forest to the side. So always nature has been my stronghold, right? Of getting guidance and support, or just feeling that nurturance, protection of nature. And so trees are very special, right? And so, so Christmas is special for that, having those trees. I can't wait to get our tree when I get back. That's going to be
Do you guys put it up like the week before Christmas? Is that
Usually I would do
your
it
tradition?
tomorrow, but because I'm here, we're going to be doing it later. So we'll probably do it just like the day, like the 20th. I go back on the 19th. So probably the 20th or the 21st, we'll put up the tree. And then I'll leave the decorations up till March.
Of course. Of course.
I never want to let it go.
I always laugh. We're like, we take ours down after, usually the week after the 12th day of Christmas, which is, middle of January. But I laugh at how many people don't, like how many, like our street, we have 2 people on our street that Christmas Day, like night, we see they're like dragging their tree to the street.
I don't
Christmas Day, I'm like,
let the magic linger, man. Yeah.
It is called 12 Days of Christmas for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, so we laugh. We're like one of the, but other people are like, the day after Christmas. And people are like, it's January 6th. Why is your tree still up? I'm like, because it's the 12th day of Christmas right now.
And for me, when I start seeing the crocuses coming up, it's like, okay, I think it's time to put the Christmas away. Yeah. So the Christmas, the tree, the wisdom, the lights, it reminds us of what endures, love, hope, soul, and connection. Those are the enduring qualities of our humanity and life. Right? So they give that symbolic, metaphoric connection and reminder.
And to remind people that those are all verbs and action words, which I don't think that, like, hope is an action word. It's strategic. It is
not fantasy.
It is not fantasy. It is an action verb. Same with love. Same with optimism. You have to have intentionality. There's actions that come with those. And I think people overlook that as part of their,
and even as you're saying that with the verb, so in Hawaii, the word for God is actually considered a verb. It's the action force, akua. So when you're taking action, you're in God. Yeah, very beautiful, right? Just a little side note there.
No, but I love that.
About the verb, right? The action words, right? And so often spirituality is seen as like a woo-woo kind of stuff, but there's actually it's fierce action to be able to connect to and embody those qualities that we need to find meaning in life and connect meaningful relationships and connect to purpose and just being in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so the tree also, the evergreen tree also symbolizes the resilience that we need, right? So there's so many beautiful metaphors about the tree.
The leaning, it doesn't break. It's really sturdy. It bends when it needs to.
Grows towards the light, right?
Yeah.
So many beautiful insights about trees. Yeah.
We could talk trees for a long time.
I think we could. Yeah, so stay rooted in your truth, even in the dark or cold seasons, right? Don't weather the storm. And also storms, they break off what doesn't work anymore. And that's what winter's about.
Yeah.
It's about, like you were saying before, like everything that doesn't work, it needs to go so that new growth and new life can come forward within ourselves and in our situations, our relationships, everywhere. Yeah.
Right. So, I would say, like, this is the season when the desert blooms. I said that, like, where as leaders, business leaders, parents, we need to believe in things that we might not be able to see yet.
Yes.
Because we all hit that stretch. I mean, I work with a lot of companies, a lot of leaders where, and even for my own business, we all hit this stretch of road where everything feels really barren.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Maybe because this is the time of year everyone kind of slows down because they're focused on holiday. There's so many events, like the hustle and bustle. But for business, it almost becomes like, holy crap! Like, why aren't people calling me back? Why am I not closing these deals? Or so a lot of for us, it might feel like the momentum has slowed.
Yes.
The metrics are wobbly. I'm not closing. Or the team feels really tired. They're ready for the break. They're ready for that. And so, we always say when you're working on yourself or working on like the things that you're doing in the business to prepare for the growth, get, hone and optimize and maximize, those aren't wasted hours and time, because what you're doing today might not immediately show up tomorrow, because you're planting those seeds. You're
Exactly. Planting the
right
seeds. Yep.
for the fruit to flourish, and
Yeah.
we don't need it necessarily like there's a, you don't have to be able to see the fruit yet to know that what you're doing watering isn't nourishing.
Yeah.
So the growth almost always starts underground, just like in, with ourselves.
Yep.
You got to work on yourself.
Yep.
In business, you got to work on your systems, your processes, developing your people. Long before, so you're developing people. That takes time.
It takes time.
And
also, sorry.
Go ahead.
And I was just thinking also symbolism of the tree. So what happens? The saps go deep into the roots in the winter time. So winter is a time of more introspection and gathering and collecting and rebuilding nourishment. And so that's why you won't see as much activity on the surface.
Right.
Right. So just feeding into what you're saying, it's all, we got to have a whole episode on trees one day. JJ.
I know. I was like, long before anything's visible, like visible changes, like seeing, greenery or a fruit or whatever, something's happening beneath the surface, right? Alignment, getting a lot clarity within yourself, like who you are, but also from a business. Where do I want to go? How do I need to approach this? What are shifts that I need to make? So letting new opportunities, new capabilities, or new resilience, like, okay, I need to, I need to get ready for that. So, I would say dry seasons aren't dead seasons.
No.
And that's kind of the season I think we're in right now, is these are the moments of preparation for the
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And patience is another, is not passive. It's also an action word.
Action word. Yes, absolutely.
And that's the hardest thing for business leaders.
Yes.
We are not patient.
Yes. It can be like
we want immediacy. We want to see, results. But
like for me in the retreat center too, like I'm used to it now. December's, forget it.
Right.
It's but October, November, and then come January, February, it starts. But December, forget it. That's like next to no bookings at all. And I'm busy with family and preparing.
But it's one of the best times to take a break and go, I need to have patience. I know momentum is slowed, but also this is the time to get clarity, to get alignment, to make sure that you're nourishing the roots, questioning to go, is this the right path I should be on? Is this the right path my company should be on? Check all the evidence, reassess. Again, you're rooting the foundation, and that way you'll be able to see when the season does come, and you get you'll see what I did 6 months ago or what I did 3 months ago, I'm seeing it pay off. But a lot of people move so quickly that they forget this is the time to take a breath.
Yeah, and we're not supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be do, right? We're supposed to do.
That's right. Ooh, do.
do. Yeah.
So I always tell my leaders, hey, if you've been nurturing the roots all year, and knowing that, oh gosh, momentum is slowed, just pay attention to little subtle signs of growth. It could be subtle signs of a shift in mind in your team. It could be a shift in some tactic that you tried, and you're seeing the subtleness, or you just might not see it at all yet. But that's where you've got to keep going, because you're probably closer to your goal. You're closer to seeing the blooms than you might think.
Yeah, totally.
But you can't just hope and not do anything. You've got to do the actions.
Absolutely. And taking actions, it's time to vote for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Ron,
I haven't done that yet. So hard. I don't know who's winning. Who's in the lead?
Oh yeah, I don't know, Ron, who's in the lead? Let us know in the comments. So we've got Donna, Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston, Tina Turner, and Pat Benatar. I'm a Pat Benatar. I love all of them, but I did Pat Benatar. Oh, Whitney's winning right now, says Ron.
All right.
Okay, all right, cool. So make your vote. And then I guess it's next week or the end of the month, I think, right? Is when we'll have the answer, the final conclusion to the Hall of Fame. Who's going to go there? Yeah. And then, so JJ, you wanted to talk about the Hoosiers? Are you still wanting, the Hoo-Hoo-Hoosiers? And then I'll
This was more of like a slam on Ron, since he was gearing up for Ohio State. So, I'm an Indiana Hoosier. I'm a Indiana University graduate. We've had the historically losingest football team in the history of Big Ten. Like, we are, we've never been a football school. But new coach comes in, 2 years. You talk about like how to change. Like, there are people like, you can't change a big ship. It takes decades. He came in and changed the attitude of the team.
Yep.
Coach. I mean, and in 2 years rebuilt a program, and we won the Big Ten championships. We are going to a bowl, right? But we beat Ohio State.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
It was like, Hoosier. Oh, so yeah. Boo. Like, so we always tease, because I had more people reaching out to go, I'm a Purdue fan, but I want to root for IU because they have to beat the Ohio State. That's a joke. Ohio State fans will be like, we're the Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
That's funny. So yeah, big. But we're heading to the bowl.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Hoo-Hoo-Hoosiers.
Awesome.
Yeah, Ron.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So then I'm gonna just continue with a little bit of the Christmas lights, I think, if you're done.
Please do.
Yeah. So again, my childhood, my mom, she moved to Germany when I was 8. And so I would go there for Christmas sometimes, a few times. Most often I was there the summer, but Christmas was super magical because there were candles on the tree. And it was just like there's nothing like it. And they still do that. A lot of families still use candles.
Wow.
And so it's just like you're saying, like, how is it that they don't burn down? And it's just, they're very careful, very present, and you don't want kids running around the tree, that everybody knows to be really careful. But when you walk into the home and you got like 30 candles on a tree at least, right? And the glowing of the evergreen tree, right? And the candlelight. And so the light was also, historically meant to represent that inner light, the inner light which Christ brought attention to, right? That we have that inner light within us of God, right? However way, I respect everybody's religion. For me, it's all the same source, and we all have unique ways to connect to it, and that's beautiful, right? So for me, I'm good with the word God, but there was a way to connect to that God force and that light, and to know that we're never alone, and that light burns within as well. And so it was also to shelter in the dark of the winter and to give light and hope as well. So in the ancient origins, fire is a symbol of life and protection. So in many pagan pre-Christian traditions, fire was seen as a life force, a protector against the long nights of winter, a symbolic victory over darkness. Winter solstice festivals like Yule in Norse and Germanic regions used fire to celebrate the rebirth of the sun, offer warmth, light, and protection through the coldest, darkest days, and mark a time of death and rebirth. Again, like we were talking before, letting go of the old and calling in the new, right? And so the fire is a transformative force to do that. And the flame was not just warmth, it was hope. Right? In the Christian times, the Christ light and the candle tradition came in around the 17th century in Germany. And that's when the Christians started lighting candles on the Christmas trees. So they started putting the candles on the trees. A tradition that evolved from both Yule and the symbolism of Christ as the light of the world. Each candle represented the divine light that illuminates the soul, a beacon of protection against the metaphorical and literal darkness, and a sacred intention of prayer. And then the birth of the electric light bloom was Edison and Johnson in 1880, and they debuted their very first strand of electric Christmas lights during the holiday season. outside his Menlo Park laboratory. It was part invention, part spectacle, a commercial demonstration that light could now be controlled and strung like magic. That's pretty cool, hey? Just
Yeah.
imagine what they would have felt back then, right? Like, wow, right? I think that would be a remarkable era to be in, when electricity, like from none to some, right? And to see that beauty. So 2 years later, Edward H. Johnson, Edison's associate, hand-wired 80 red, white, and blue bulbs around his Christmas tree in New York, and that's how it began.
What?
Yeah, and then it wasn't until the early 1900s that General Electric began marketing pre-assembled Christmas lights. So by the 1930s and 50s, they became accessible for middle-class homes only, and then thus the candlelight of devotion became a twinkling string of light instead of the real candles. Yeah. And then modern reflections I put here too, is, the joy, the light is still symbolic, even though we don't use the fire, but it's still the symbology of joy and light and love. Like for me, I love Christmas lights. They bring me joy, right?
Hey,
So
are you a white light Christmas light person, or are you the colored bulbs?
I like both.
Which
Outside,
one do you typically put on your tree?
like outside, I do both. Yeah.
You do both.
I
Okay.
do both. Yeah, I do both. Outside, it's always colors, lots of colors outside. Yeah, and then the tree, I have both. I have white lights and the colored lights. Yeah, and I just love that. And even, all my apartments, I've always had like little fairy lights always around. It's the magic. So that's the magic of, connecting to this season, and it's just so beautiful. And so like I was at Rodeo Drive the other day in the morning, and the Christmas decorations there and the Christmas carols that they're playing was just astounding. And so I haven't seen it at night. I have to go through Beverly Hills at night. That the light show is incredible. So I'm going to make videos of that.
Oh, that'll be. I'll have to follow you to make sure I see those. That would be fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Apparently, it's an incredible spectacle. So yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so, do you have your Christmas tree up already, or when do you put yours?
We did. So I did it. Try to do it the weekend after Thanksgiving, but we traveled this year, so I got it all up for the most part over the weekend. I do a couple of trees in the house. My main tree, all the lights, have a pre-lit in there, and the whole all the lights. But then I went on. I was like, I need to go and find this little replacement part today. That you can.
Fuse, right? It's a fuse, or
it's a fuse that I didn't know this. That in the plug of the tree,
yes,
you can slide that thing back, and there's a fuse. And they said if I replace because they're like, if there's just a couple of light bulbs out, that means it's a bulb thing. But if it's like whole strands,
it's the fuse.
It's the fuse. So I'm going to go to the hardware store, and then I can finish my tree tonight.
Awesome.
Get that done. But everything else is done. So I'm relieved at that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And we'll keep them up. But I do like, I do the white, and I don't like the twinkly. We've got the ones because I don't know. It's that's okay outside. Inside, I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not.
It's too much stimulation for me.
Too much stimulation. I'm stimulated all day. I need it to be calm at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for the holidays, I think.
Me too. Looking forward to going home for that. Yeah. And looking forward to see the light show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To do that. So
is everyone decorated over there? I mean,
everything. The streets are incredible. Like the decoration is like, wow, like 10 times what I've ever seen in Vancouver, for example. It's just every corner, it's so beautiful. Yeah. I'll take some shots. I'm going down into town again today. I'll take some more shots, but yeah, put them on my page and you guys can see that, or I can give them the Ron. Put them up maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful show, talking about growth, talking about light, the importance of friction, the importance of contrast, the importance of the lighting, right? And
the lighting, telling a story.
We covered a lot of beautiful.
We did.
It
was a good show.
It was an awesome.
Luannah, where can people see you? Where can people, if I wanted to follow you and wanted to watch your stuff, where do I go?
So Luannah Victoria across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. My website is soulspectivesinstitute.com and also serenitybythesea.com for my retreat center. Yeah, and that would be the best places. And for you, JJ, where can
you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I'm Jennifer Sutton, JJ, and Jennifer Johns is my maiden name. In LinkedIn, but the best place to go is our YouTube channel, which is Hello Chaos Podcast.
Oh, cool.
Or our website, which is orangewhip.com, and that's
cool names.
WIP for work in progress, because that's what we all are.
All of us are. Yep.
To find all of our stories and how we can serve you guys. So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And
have a great weekend.
Have a great, maybe you'll see your tree and the Christmas lights and the new lights and give you hope and connect to deeper origins of this beautiful season to nourish your soul in this winter. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.